Johnny here for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews with Marie, because we are going to talk about, well, our experience with over 15,000 miles between the two Broncos. So Marie had the Badlands Bronco, base Badlands Bronco with a 2.7 liter, no heated seats, no keyless entry. And I had the Outer Banks pretty equipped high package. So you had next to nothing, I had everything. I'm a jerk. I took the higher equipped model. No, Marie did say she wanted the Badlands, mostly for the color, and on the internet.
And I found it more cooler.
Yeah? Yeah?
Because of the name Badlands.
So, and that's the surprise. So in this video, really what we want to do is we want to cover what do you really need? Because of course these days, it's so easy to say I need more. And that's my style, because I thought I needed, you know, the 12-inch screen. I felt I needed the keyless entry, the heated seats, but what really did I need, and what do you really need to be happy with your Bronco? Because the huge surprise that we want to cover in this video is probably the best, absolute best value is a base Sasquatch. We'll tell you why. We're also going to be covering and debunking really everything. What have people been saying about the Bronco? All the highs, the lows, the pros, the cons, really. What's really true out there? So of course we're going to be talking about the top. We're going to be talking about different models, you know, like this one comes with the running boards. Of course, we'll talk about what we don't like as well, like seeing these empty holes and, you know, the kind of the cheaper looking folded sheet metal at the bottom. So, you know, and that's really all we have to say about that one. But we will talk about what's gone wrong with our Broncos. So, for example, the other one doesn't have the running boards. So we've had some trouble with that, and it's kind of been a bit of a disaster. You survived without heated seats all winter because you thought this color was going to be actually quite awful. And on the internet, on the build website, it is awful. But in real life, she actually likes it. So once I actually showed up with it, she's like, I really like that Bronco. And well, like I said in the beginning of the video, I was a bit of a jerk, and I said, well, you already picked your Bronco, so you prefer the Badlands, you can have the Badlands. But you had a good time with it this winter?
Yeah, I'm so happy anyways, though.
So we're going to talk soft tops. We're also going to talk about engines, because we both have a 2.7 liter twin turbo EcoBoost, and that's for a very good reason. We'll tell you why.
And we're talking about aesthetical details on both of them too. We'll compare it. Yeah.
And I've driven the 2.3 liter several times. I've also driven the hard top. So we've got really what we hope will be extremely helpful tips and tricks. And of course, we'll debunk what people have been saying. So we've got Marie in this video because, well, I think her opinion on style is way more important than mine. And I think you're telling me that you actually prefer the grille on the Badlands.
Yes, the grid on the Badlands has only little holes, so it's not bigger like the other banks. I find it more, how can I say that, we have more grill, so it's more full. I appreciate that kind of grill, yeah.
Now Marie did see the Wild Track grill, which is actually just like the Badlands grill, but
black,
shiny black. How do you like that?
Yeah, I love that Ford to make each model different. They change the color, the kind of holes that they put on it. So yes, the other kind is, which one were you said it was?
Wild Track.
Okay, yeah. So they just changed the color. So I really love it because I love the grill on the Badlands, and I will appreciate the grill on that one too.
Now you say you like the fact that we have different grills to pick out. When we go inside the vehicle, we'll also talk about interiors, because surprisingly with Ford and the Bronco, as soon as you Sasquatch, except for the base Sasquatch model, which is a wild deal. Going base and Sasquatching the base model is an incredible deal where you're going to save about $10,000. We'll get the price later on. However, you do like the fact that we can change grills and interior. Once you Sasquatch all the higher trim models, they pretty much work out to almost the same price. And if you're leasing, there's very little difference per month. So surprisingly, when you're picking out models, you're almost just picking out what grille and interior you like, which is kind of it's kind of the case also for the outside of the vehicle, because your Black Diamond and your Badlands have your rock guards on the side, and it's as if the Bronco was actually made to have these side guards, these rock guards, because that's when you don't see the holes. But if you go Wild Track, you get no running boards, and you get that kind of cheap folded sheet metal with holes in it look. And well, if you go Outer Banks, of course, well, Outer Banks, you get the running boards, and that is a real treat. And we'll talk about that when we get inside the vehicle, but jumping in and out of these vehicles isn't all that fun. The Badlands already has a bit more height on it than your regular models, but really I don't think we'd ever go with either non-Badlands or non-Sasquatch unless we're to just throw off the tires, because the regular tires look pretty well ordinary, right?
Yeah, but it looks good. I really love the mag.
This is your favorite mag,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Because the Sasquatch mags, I'm not sure about it, but I love the look of the bigger tires, but I really love these mags. So
Hold on, you say you like the look of the bigger tires, but be honest, how
But
do you
not
feel
the
about the
mag.
Raptor? How do you feel about the Bronco Raptor?
oh,
Big flares, the Ford grille.
yeah, to be honest, I don't remember the tires, but the big flare, I'm not sure about it. Aesthetically, it's not my kind. And the grill, normally I really love the grill on the Raptor, on the F-150.
F-150, looks
That's
great.
so beautiful. But on the Bronco, I found it, how can I say that? It's not that original that it's written
Yeah.
Ford on it. What's the best thing about having a Bronco is having a Bronco. So I want to have the Bronco name spelled on it. So
Well, I can't say it any better than you have, so I'm just gonna say I completely agree with you. Now for the top, just to debunk the top, there's been videos on this, and I don't know if it's about getting views or not, but the top has actually been amazing. Marie is, and that's part of the reason why she's here, Marie is the type that when we watch anything at any time of the year, there's a year-round blanket on the couch, and unless it's 30 degrees outside, Celsius of course, she's covered in a blanket. And did you have trouble with the top? Are you gonna debunk it? Is the soft top good?
no, not at all. As you see, we can enter our finger, but in the winter, no wind at all that enters in the car. No ice, so sometimes my windows are full of ice because here we have a lot of wind in the mountain.
It's eating me. It's eating my
But it never enters in the car, even
No.
if we are on the road, on the highway, no wind at all.
And
I
I-
really love it.
Yeah, and I pressure wash the vehicles. I do not believe that a mitt should ever touch the paint unless it's a brand new mitt, so you use it once and you almost throw it away, but I don't like to throw stuff away. So I pressure wash, and even with a very powerful pressure wash, I've never had any water in the vehicle, no snow, no wind, and we're up in the mountains, and we have the wind actually generally coming right towards the vehicles, and we've never woken up at any point in one of our very cold Canadian winters to have snow in the vehicle. So we don't know what's going on with that. I think it's one of those, 1 in maybe 20,000 Broncos situations, but because we've all seen the video, we all assume you can't live with a soft top, but it's been good for sound. It has been good for weather. No temperature difference between that and a hard top. Maybe 1 degree at most.
And it's easy to use because
Yeah.
with the hard top, you need to have time to remove it. And if it starts raining while you're on the road, you cannot pull and try to put it back. With this one, you just unclip it, remove it, and after that, if there's some rain, you stop, you just put it back and clip it. It's easy. It's almost 1
Yeah.
minute or less.
And talking about easy, some things you want to make your life easy, do like we did. Get a plastic wrap at the bottom of the vehicle. You can't actually see it. It's completely camouflaged, but we have get as thick as possible wrap on the bottom of the vehicle because this thing kicks up stones and dirt. We were just using the trailer to dump off stuff at the environmental center yesterday. We had mud going up over onto the roof all winter long. By the way, we had snow, salt, calcium, and ice kicking up onto the roof. The roof's fantastic. The roof is not cheaply made like some people will say on the internet. All I did was pressure wash it. I've put on 0 products on this top, and it, as soon as I pressure washed it, it pearled up, so it beaded, and it just kicked away all the dirt. So after a long Canadian winter, that top looks great, and it's been good to us. However, Marie was driving at the Eco Center, so where did the mud go?
Yeah, I saw it in my mirror. It was going high like that. We see the mud going out of the tires because of the big tread.
Yeah.
It's the same when we are in the snow in the winter. I see it going like that on each side of the car. So yeah, it is surprising. It goes like that.
And when I was using the four-wheeler and the trailer in the winter, the trailer's just beside me and the four-wheeler is covered in mud. Why is the four-wheeler covered in mud? Because the Bronco shot mud all over it. So if you want to protect other people's windshields and anything you might be towing, get mud guards, but you know, mud flaps. But here's a major problem I have. If you get the regular Broncos, straight models, not Sasquatch, not Black Diamond, you can have mud flaps, mud guards for about, you know, $60 in the front, $60 in the back. However, if you have one of these bigger models, you're looking at about $500 in the front and $500 in the back. So if any of you have an actual solution for that, please do share it. And you know, while we're going to be talking about what our favorite model is, because we are going to be talking about how we're going to have to get rid of these Broncos for various reasons. So we're going to be later on choosing another Bronco. So please let us know what Bronco model you think is best and why, because we're going to be back to picking out a Bronco because we can't have, you know, as much as we'd like to have 4 brand new vehicles, we can't have 4 brand new vehicles for us and the channel. But you've definitely liked the Badlands. We absolutely love the vinyl. So speaking of the vinyl, let's go inside the vehicle. We'll talk a little bit about engines while we're in there, and we're going to continue debunking. Because, well, I feel the Bronco, we both feel the Bronco needs a little bit of debunking. There's been a lot said on it, but we don't always agree with everything. So let's just pop right in. So here we have the ultimate off-roader, the Badlands, with all your off-roading, all full off-roading options. By the way, we've used Trail Turn Assist and it was a lot of fun. It definitely unbelievably helpful. So very cool. Like on the F-150, you only get that if you take a Tremor or, you know, something like a Raptor. But here, the Broncos have it. Great option. Here are the seats that Marie and I absolutely love. Badlands has the orange stitching with the orange highlight. Black Diamond would have blue.
Yeah, that's the thing that I told you this morning. With the blue stitching, I'm not that sure. Normally, I really love the blue. Blue is my color. I have it everywhere. I wear it. But with the exterior color, to me, it doesn't feel like it will always match your exterior color. But the orange is more like a sports car. You go off-roading. It's young. It's sports. So I love the orange color. Normally it's not my color at all, but for this one I really love it in the Badlands. That's a good thing.
And mods I want to do to the Bronco, I would love to throw on a muffler if Marie says yes. I'd love a louder exhaust, and I'd also like that blow off, both of which Marie will not like a whole lot.
To me, blow off is for a Mustang or a little car like that, but not for a SUV. So I'm not sure.
Now, the seats have been unbelievably comfortable. The back seats as well. No disappointment there. Space-wise, this has been more than enough. We love the soft top because it's been easier getting soft tops, but also because we really don't see any downside. We only see the positive side of it. At the beach, we went out riding.
It was easy to flip it.
Yeah, and Dwayne from Bronco Wild Outdoors, he kept his hard top on. So we love the fact that we can just throw the top back, have a great time. It's Canada. The weather seems to change every 15 minutes. We have bipolar weather here. It can't pick its mood, so it's great being able to just throw the top back on.
And for the top, you saw it at the beach in Florida. You see that many Jeeps, just the soft top, they just unclip it and push it, but the hard top was always on the top. They never removed it if it's not a full sunny weather for all the week. So it's more easier with that. Just unclip it, flip it, and if it starts raining, you put it back.
And now I definitely wanted the 12-inch screen, and I realized that, you know, we did a full trip down to Florida, spent over 60 hours total in over 2 weeks in the vehicle, and the 8-inch screen did a great job. I definitely would not live without keyless entry because of these extreme cold winters we have. Soft top, not an issue at all. Any takeaways from the Bronco? Any particular things you really love about the Bronco, Maggie?
Yeah, you just talk about the screen. I know John really loves the bigger screen in his Bronco, but to me, for the navigation and stuff like that, you can do it with a cell phone, so it's already bigger than a cell phone screen. So for me, it's a good
good value. Yeah, it's impressive. It comes on a base Sasquatch.
You don't need more bigger screen than that. It's fun sometimes to have more technology in your car, more funny stuff that the other person doesn't have. But for me, this one is perfect.
Yeah, I think often all of us tend to get caught up in trying to have the latest and greatest.
The coolest, yeah.
And it turns out that I think money-wise, it makes a lot of sense getting a base Sasquatch. And if you can't live without, the heated seats and the keyless entry, you don't need to go to leather like we have on the Outer Banks Sasquatch behind us. So let's pop right into that. So the vinyl, fantastic value, taking a black diamond and just throwing on a lift, tires, and mags. That black diamond is going to be plenty capable because we've gone off-roading. We've, done some mud. We've played around in the sand pit. We've played on the beach. All the Broncos, as long as they have aggressive tires, are very capable. Of course, Sasquatch, you get the locking diff in the front and the back, but the black diamond does have the rear locking diff. So it's going to do what 99.5% of Bronco owners need it to do. So let's just jump into the leather covered Bronco. Okay, so while I've got Marie on top of these two tires, let's actually look at the tires of the Bronco. I definitely wouldn't go with the base standard tires, but Badlands, those are pretty aggressive tires. They've been great to us. They've been all around amazing tires. Sasquatch tires are a bit overkill, but really comes down to preference, what you like. Marie up there is all about the Badlands tires, and me down here, I really like the Sasquatch tires, and I love the black mags on it. But Marie finds this bumper okay, but even her, with the off-roading we've done, she was nervous. We're nervous with the plastic bumper. And anyways, all sorts of animals can crawl out of the woods in our area. There always seems to be a forest beside any road that we go to. So we're all about the metal bumper all the way. In the future, if ever, down the road we get a Bronco, it's definitely going to have that front bumper. Protects you for accidents with animals, protects you off-road. So that's a must-have. Okay, so we're back. We're now inside our Outer Banks Sasquatch with leather. The leather, I don't feel like it's necessary. I would definitely go vinyl if we were to ever do it again. The vinyl is absolutely fantastic. And if ever we did do it again and we want to spend less money, well, base Sasquatch is $42,000 or $43,900 with the 2.7 liter. That automatic transmission, of course, but that is a steal of a deal. That is an incredible value. And then you just need to have the inside of your vehicle redone by a company like Catskin. It should cost you about $2,000. Either a detailing company that, upholsters does that, or very likely your local dealer will help take care of that. Now let's just compare prices. A black diamond with Sasquatch is $49,100. With the 2.7 liter, $51,015. Badlands Sasquatch, $52,275. With the 2.7 liter, well, we all know what we're going to be adding, so we end up with $54,170. Now we move on. I gotta ask, is the Badlands really worth $3,000 more than a black diamond? Well, if you don't like rims on the black diamond, Badlands, you're probably going to get it if you really feel you need that stabilizer bar disconnect, because both have the vinyl interior, and that's why I feel like it's a really good value as well. The one I don't get probably is the Wild Track. So the Wild Track's $52,820, but it comes with the 2.7 liter. And, you're on cloth. So we've talked about this at the beginning of the video. We don't feel that really we could have lived and dealt with the whole cloth situation. So then once you're in a Wild Track, of course, then you don't have the vinyl option. And then you kind of get sucked into getting the leather, and you're at $55,000. Now let's just compare $55,000 for a Wild Track with leather, or you go for a base Sasquatch with 2.7 liter at $43,900. I'm not very good at math, but that's over $10,000, and changing the interior vehicle is should cost about $2,000. Now, of course, you won't have keyless entry, and that's the big one. we both find having heated seats and keyless entry, mostly the keyless entry, not having that. It's a must have. Marie was just saying, like, it was annoying every morning before going outside, inside the house, taking the keys out, unlocking.
Yeah, because sometimes I have my handful of bags, so I was unlocking the car in the house, and after that I took my bag because I could not just open it by taking the door. So, and I don't want to put my bag down in the snow to open the car, so I think about it before leaving the house.
Yeah, so I think for us, probably the best value if you're not going to be on lease. Now here's the real kicker. The best value for us is a black diamond with a 2.7 liter and mid-pack. And if you do Sasquatch it though, you're at $51,915. So you always have the question of, do you want to just throw on reasonably sized tires and, you know, mags that fit your own style? For Marie, no, she loves the Ford mags.
I don't need to pay more.
Yeah, you're Badlands all the way.
Yeah,
you even
totally.
You're even sold on the name.
Yeah, the name is, like I said to you, it's sports. I really love it. I guess Ford choose the right names for each model of Bronco. I really love the names that they give.
Now, we have only had 2 issues with our Broncos. The Outer Banks Sasquatch here, we had the check engine light come on. We got a new sensor, the dealer quickly, and well, the part was back ordered, so I say quickly. It took about 3 to 4 weeks for the part to come in, but it was an outside temperature gauge that was incorrect. So I kept driving it. It didn't cause any problems whatsoever. They switched it, they found the problem quickly, they ordered the part. So that did get resolved. And, you know, beyond that, I've had in both vehicles, they each had about a day or two where the touchscreen wasn't really wanting to react in regards to changing the channel, changing the volume, and they were just misbehaving. But both got over the air updates, and then everything was fixed. So another reason to have Ford Pass is so that you don't have to go into the dealership, because you will get over the air updates, meaning you're just parked, let's say, at home. You got a problem one day with your touchscreen, and the next day it is a-okay, and that's pretty cool. So comfort wise, we find both models really comfortable. Now, of course, the Badlands already has the upgraded suspension. It has the Sasquatch Bilstein shocks, which have been incredible. Mind you, now here's a little kicker. I do believe that the high package with its extra sound deadening, I do believe in it. And Marie actually came into this one and was wondering, the first time she got a ride right off, she was like, hey, is yours a lot quieter because you broke the roof on mine? And I was like, no, honey, I didn't break the roof. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't want to be in trouble here. I said, this has extra sound deadening. So there's the extra sound deadening on the hood that we all see. I'm just wondering where else, because the overall result is we drive down the highway, and we do prefer driving down the highway in this one.
Yeah, and it's not only in the driveway for the sound. In the city, when I'm at a light, I can hear the other car, the music in the other car so well that I'm like, hey, do I leave a window open by mistake? So, and with this, it's more quiet. So that's why I was thinking, maybe it's not the same.
But we're still sold, no matter what soft top you get. We're still very much sold soft top. Maybe we'll be a little bit more sold on the hard top once we can get painted hard tops, which are going to be done by, complete different factory. So if those come online and are actually getting delivered in, very reasonable amounts of time. We've seen Jeeps with the painted top. We've seen, of course, G-Wagons with the painted top, and we're so into that look, but we will lose a lot of convenience. And this didn't have any downsides other than the side wave, the little plastic side wave, which was, I find, worse on the first models. So that was the Badlands beside us is a very early model, and it's less bad on this one.
At the same time, I look forward to see that in the summer, because the other one, you talk about the wave in the back windows. The other one, we had it in the summer, so maybe the heat has done that. And this one, your Cactus Gray, we had it in December, so maybe I will be surprised to see it in the summer if it does the same thing, if it's just because of the sun, or if it's because they change a little bit the material of the windows. So we'll see this summer to compare.
The hard tops, we all know that there's, unofficial edition 1 and edition 2 hard tops. Well, I'm a believer, here's my theory. I think there's edition 1 soft tops and edition 2 soft tops. So have we had a whole lot of trouble? Well, no, we both enjoy the sound system. We've done over 10,000 miles in these two vehicles. Actually, just the blue one has 10,000 miles. So we're at about 15,000 miles between the two vehicles, and the sound system it's been decent, and it gets the job done. We've been able to enjoy music. We've been able to do wildly long road trips, and we didn't need more. So we're happy that before we got our Bronco, we didn't just listen to the online reviews and feel like we had to buy an almost $1,000 sound bar in the back. We didn't need that. And that's another thing, talking about bars. This has no bar. So when you're riding with your top down on the soft top, super easy. Takes us as a team, we do it in 2 minutes to take the top all the way down. And it's a full sun experience. It's awesome. So, and then we've loved the Broncos, but we do have, when we build them, if we had to build it again, we'd still be stumped. So we want your comments. Tell us, what is the best Bronco model? Obviously, if we're paying cash, it's simple for us. Base model, Sasquatched. You save a ton of money, and we'd get around to throwing the inside with leather from an aftermarket company. But Marie, I think you're saying you would never do cloth again.
Never again. And before, I had an Escape that has a beige cloth. You need to be really careful, because just your jeans, when you go up and down the car, it prints the color of the jeans on the side because it was beige. So
if you have kids or animals, forget about it. Like
my sister had that car after that with kids. It was stained everywhere with the juice, food. So for any family, I really recommend the vinyl seats. And I hope that Ford will give that option for all the models, not only the Broncos, for Escapes, anything. It's so perfect when you have kids to be able to wash it. With the dogs, it was perfect. And traveling, we eat in the car a lot. Yeah. Normally, I hear John, "Hey, careful! you will stain the seat," but in this travel, he says nothing because we had vinyl.
Well, it's more, honey, are you going to spill that? Because Marie is a bit clumsy. She's a sweetheart. So sweet, but clumsy. But we would definitely do 2.7 liter again. So that's a huge takeaway. Even Marie, we were just talking about it, and she said, she doesn't know if she'd go with the 2.3. She hasn't driven it. I found it lacked a bit of power. But then when she told me, hey, when I get out of work and I have to merge with traffic, I really like the fact, the vehicle feels heavy until enough. She told me, if you put the pedal in a little, it kind of feels too heavy.
You can have power, so because if you just go slowly on the pedal, you'll see that it's a little bit heavy and then it goes. But if you put a good pressure, you can just go and follow all the traffic. It's easy. Yeah,
and you got to press the pedal in, because otherwise you just have the 6-cylinder working for you without the turbos. Very fuel efficient. That's a huge takeaway for us when you're on the highway and the turbos aren't functioning. So you can do that by staying under 70 miles per hour and get actually really good fuel economy. You can get 19 to 22 miles per gallon driving 70 miles per hour and 65 miles per behind a trailer. We did that for 30, we did it almost for actually 100 miles until she got frustrated. I was going too slow, but I was behind a tractor trailer doing 65 in perfect weather, perfectly flat, and I got 25 miles per gallon, which is insane for a vehicle this heavy. But Marie's points are really good. The vehicle is really heavy, and you've got to get those turbos working. You have to press the pedal in enough to get the turbos to work to really take off. And she finally admitted it to me. She does like driving a little aggressively. She likes that fast acceleration of the 2.7 liter. And
I'm not as much as you, but when I need it, I have it.
And I find actually the 2.7 liter turbos, there's no turbo lag. It's instant and it's a ton of power. Whereas the 2.3 liter turbo, when the turbo does kick in, It is a good amount of power. It accelerates quite well. It's not a slow machine, but when you just want that instant takeoff power, this is the right machine. It's the 2.7 liter, and actually I love the 2.7 liter for its instant power, which is one of the things on the 5 liter V8 Mustang that I had. Loved the engine, but always wished it had more of an instant punch. So there you have it. Those are our biggest takeaways on the vehicle, except we can't figure out, later down the road, because we're going to be getting an F-150 Lightning for the channel. Marie's getting a Maverick for herself, and I'll be showing it and highlighting it on the channel. So we're going to be Bronco-less for a while, which we really don't look forward to. We've loved these vehicles.
Yeah, we'll miss the Bronco for sure.
We're really gonna miss it, and I know it's not even gonna be a nostalgic sale, which was part of the reason why I at one point bought an F100. But it's not gonna be nostalgia that brings us back to the Bronco. It's gonna just be having absolutely loved it. We don't want to let either one go, but we can't have 3 or 4 new vehicles in the yard. It's just not possible financially, and we're going to be really sad to see them go, but we will definitely get a 2.7 liter. We want your help. Comment, what is the best model? One thing we've definitely noticed though, if you don't have the running boards on the Badlands, if it was Sasquatch, it'd be way too much. I'd be jumping out and hurting my lower back because it gets injured. Well, it's I guess permanently injured, but it doesn't take much to throw me into some quite bad back pain for weeks at end. Marie said she's jumping out of the Badlands all the time. And well, those rock panels, I wish they were an option. I wish you could have either the rock panels for the Black Diamond and the Badlands, that you're not forced them, but then you could replace them without charge for the running boards, because the running boards are fantastic. We need it because of the height of the vehicles, and we also need it for door protection because the Badlands in North Carolina got damaged. So someone else's paint is still on the vehicle. First nice warm day, I'm going to be getting that off, or trying to, through compounding and polishing. But the running boards protect you against other vehicles, and they also protect you from getting injured jumping in and out, if in case that's hard for your knees or back. So we really don't know what model we would take. It would be a no-brainer. We'd definitely go Outer Banks if the Outer Banks came with vinyl, but it comes with, well, it comes with cloth, and we're just not a fan of that. And then we'll have to see where leases are at, because right now the reason we got the Badlands in the first place, we were actually sold Black Diamond. I, for months at end, was convinced Black Diamond was the absolute best model. It was my original 2-door Black Diamond, was my original order. And when I switched to a soft top, I also noticed I then had access to Lease, residuals, by hand. Like, this was way before it was on the website, but by hand I did the Lease residuals and found out that there'd be about an $80 difference per month leasing between a Badlands and a Black Diamond. So we went Badlands as a compromise, and I think if we're do it again, I don't feel like we would feel obligated to Sasquatch.
Yeah, no. And I'm happy that we had the chance to have 2 Broncos, 2 different models, to just see what's the difference, what we love, what we said, oh, I missed that in that kind of car. So it's a good thing to be able to compare like that. Yeah.
I originally thought that I thought the vinyl was a huge compromise because I really wanted the leather, and just being cheap, famously cheap, I didn't go with the leather, but that's really what I wanted. And now that I have it, I'm with you. The vinyl's amazing.
It was the second day that you had it, and you leave the roof open for the night. How can I say that?
I'm a bad Bronco dad.
You didn't think about it. You leave it open, and the next morning there was a lot of water on the seats. So I was like, hey, John, you see why it's a good thing to have vinyl seats, because with the leather,
that's a no-go.
2 days after you have it
well, it looks like you're already convincing me that it's either a base Sasquatch that gets the interior modified, or a Black Diamond where we just swap out the mags, and we'll have to look at lease, how much it is per month, and if we are going to lease. But if we are going to lease, I'm going to highly suspect there won't be much of a difference going Badlands. And once you're on the Badlands, I don't feel that the 33-inch are nice. And they're super practical. I think as, you know, we're all always trying to get the biggest and baddest and more.
But it costs more at the
But it
same time.
also
So
costs
do you
more.
really need it?
Yeah, do you really need it? And that brings up the whole question. We'll hand it over to our local. We're going to let the local loose talk about his Bronco, because his Bronco's treated him so well that I almost wonder if ever we go back Bronco, would we kind of get an older 80s or 90s Bronco? I know
you like vintage car. For me, I guess I love it when it's new or almost brand new. But I really love the style that they have. But at the same time, I'm not that much good in mechanic and I don't want to go in the garage often. But you'll see with the local, he will tell more about his mechanic stuff that he did.
Yeah, he's got a cool story, so let's hand it right over to him. Don, and how have you been finding it? Has it been reliable or has it been really problematic?
It's been fine. It runs strong. Nothing really wrong with it except for the back quarter panel.
Yeah, some people just aren't careful, are they?
No, they're not.
You've been a good driver, but some people just, well, we almost lost our Bronco driving through New Jersey, so I don't suggest you go through Jersey anytime soon.
Right.
But in North Carolina, we got our door dented, but that's quite a bit bigger dent than what we've got. So our Bronco is meeting up with what you could say is its dad that went out for a pack of smokes 25 years ago, and well, now we found it. So you're pretty happy with it?
I am very happy with it.
Right on. Do you want to just introduce yourself to the community?
Well, I'm Alex Ferris, and I'm from Orange City, Florida, which is 20 miles from here.
So he's keeping the Broncos on the road. He's helping a good cause, and that's keeping classic vehicles, classic trucks on the road.
Is repair the AC compressor.
Okay, so and how long have you owned it for?
2 years, 3 years.
2 years, wow. And the AC compressor is it's going to be your first repair? Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. So it's been good to you?
Yes.
Oh, right on. So some good, I guess, good Ford reliability out of this Bronco, that's for sure. Let's hope I get that kind of good luck out of our Ford Bronco. Well, Alex, what kind of miles per gallon would you say you're getting?
I can fill it up full tank and I can get at least 18 to 20 miles. I can go 2 weeks without filling it back up.
Miles per gallon, wow, that is impressive. Miles per gallon. What engine do you have on this?
I have a 5.8 liter V8 351 Windsor.
That is that's cool. That's so a little bit of, I guess you could say, at least a Canadian name on this. So that's good. A little American and Canadian mixed together, you could say. A little bit of repair. Earlier on, we said that he said that he needed a new AC compressor, but it locked right up when he got out of the mall. Must have been a few minutes before us, and the AC compressor has taken 5 minutes to fix, and that's really the only problem he's had in 2 years. So really impressive that that's the only problem he's had in 2 years. So we're here for emotional support. That's why we're hanging around. Marie, your emotional support? Winston, you're getting some emotional support here? Yeah, doesn't look like too big of a fix. 4 bolts, said it took 5 minutes to take off. Now Winston, you want a Bronco ride? Yeah? You want a Bronco ride? You ready for that door to open right up and you hop right in? Yeah, you want your Bronco ride. So we've had a lot of fun with the Broncos. We've gone off-roading, mud, beach, sand, winter off-roading. The vehicles have just been all around absolutely fantastic. They haven't caused us much trouble, and normally I would be so much more into used vehicles, especially classics, because you don't lose money with classics. If anything, they go up in value over time, but they do always, they're not perfect. They do require repairs, and if you do build your own classic, you're going to put a lot of money in, and that's where we really need help on the channel here. Do we go with an old Bronco after we've gone through, you know, the F-150 Lightning? Marie's going to keep her Maverick, but then obviously we're going to want to go back to a Bronco. We absolutely love the Bronco, don't regret it at all. So do we go new or do we go old? we do love our classics. But one thing is for sure, we're not going to go with a regular Bronco that has just, you know, the regular tires. We'll definitely go with the steel bumper. We're stuck kind of between a Black Diamond and the Badlands, either Badlands straight or Black Diamond Sasquatch with the mid package, or do we really just suck it up, save a ton of money, get a base Sasquatch and throw on the leather? Now we could get aftermarket heated seats and still save a ton of money, but we won't have the keyless entry. You know, I don't know, maybe I should be less of a princess and just go with the base Sasquatch. We'll see. We really need your help with all of this. Now, of course, we did like having our full off-road functions, but the Badland with its stabilizer bar disconnect, I think is overkill, but we definitely won't go with cloth interior like we see right there. That is not right for us. It just does not fit. And we do like the fact that, you know, we get this $900 running board to protect us from door dings like we got on the Badlands if we go with an Outer Banks, which was a previous favorite of ours, but it comes on cloth. We really like that vinyl. So help us out. And if you really want to help us out, like and subscribe, because, well, it keeps the channel going. It definitely helps feed and dress that poodle. But we can't believe it, after all this time of seeing a ton of Broncos, getting up and close with all sorts of Broncos, we gotta say the Bronco is so unbelievably complicated, because we still don't know how to order up our next Bronco if we don't go with a classic one. So I'll probably be a 2024, like I said, just after passing through a few of the new thrilling vehicles that Ford has coming up. But we definitely want something that's going to be good for doing a bit of off-road and goofing off like we do like to do. You know, we do like the 4-doors, huge back trunk space. That back trunk space is awesome, but the Bronco has been an absolute complete blast. So if you're still waiting on yours, you know, that really sucks. We're sorry about that. Kind of makes us sad, but you will absolutely find it's worth the wait. It has been an incredible vehicle, so leave us in the comments section what you think is the best Bronco model, and thank you so much for watching.